Eyyitsconnas here, bringing you a new video on Miss Pandaria Beta, Druid, talents, glyphs, and new spells. So, I'm going to start out with the talents right now. Oh, but the first thing I'd like to show you is, in Miss Pandaria, there's no longer mixed feral and feral tank spec. They have split them off and given them different spells and attacks and whatnot, based on the specialization. So I guess it's kind of the same, but it's just split into two, so whatever. Alright, let's go with talents. Alright, so the first one here is feline swiftness, so we will test that out. It increases your movement speed by 15%, kind of like the DK talent and in Unholy Presence, so you can keep up with those DKs. Second one is Displacer Beast. You teleport forwards 20 yards, best used to escape and flee from melee attackers. Okay, right here. Boom. So it's kind of a blink, but for druids, and it puts you into instant prowl. That's pretty sweet, in my opinion. Now we have Wild Charge, which is changes based on what form you're in. So non-shapeshifted, you fly to an ally's position. In bear form, you charge to an enemy, stunning them for 4 seconds. In cat form, you leap behind an enemy, dazing them for 3 seconds. In moonkin form, you bound backwards, sorry. Travel form, you leap forwards 20 yards, and in aquatic form, it increases your swim speed by an additional 200% for 5 seconds. So that looks pretty cool. Let's try this out. Okay, this is it in regular form. You gain wings, you do a front flip if you're lucky enough, and you just fly towards your friendly ally. Okay, now we have it in bear form. It's basically a charge, and it stuns them for only 2 seconds on a PvP target, but 4 seconds on a PvE target. Now this has a 15-second cooldown on everything, so that's pretty good in my opinion. Now we have Wild Charge in swim form. That's a nice bonus, but it's only 5 seconds long. Alright, here's it in cat form. Leap behind an enemy, dazing them for 3 seconds. Similar to Feral Charge, cat mode. Now on Boomkin, you supposedly bound backwards. Let's see how far that goes. Well, that was pathetic. Seems kind of useless to me. Okay, and that is that talent. That's the end of the first talent set at level 15. Now let's go to the talent set at level 30. So we have Nature's Swiftness, that when activated, your next Cyclone, Entangling Roots, Healing Touch, Hibernate, Nourish, Rebirth, or Regrowth becomes instant, free, and castable in all forms. The healing and duration of the spell is increased by 50%. So I'm going to Cyclone my buddy here. Okay, casting Nature's Swiftness, and now casting Cyclone. So it's an instant cast, and it keeps them cycloned for 6 seconds. Now, like I said, it also works with healing and rebirth. So that's okay in my opinion. It's the same as in Cataclysm. Alright, on to the next one. We have Renewal, which instantly heals the Druid for 30% of all maximum health, and this is usable in all shapeshift forms. That looks pretty good. Now I've actually noticed that, such as Mage and a couple other classes, they all have a 30% instant heal. Alright, now that my friend has hurt me an unnecessary amount, I will hit Renewal, and that's a pretty nice heal right there. What was that, like 80,000? Nah, can't be that much. It was pretty good though. Alright, now we have Cenarian Ward. This protects a friendly target, causing any damage taken to heal the target for almost 10,000 every 2 seconds for 6 seconds. Gaining the healing effect consumes the Cenarian Ward. Usable in all shapeshift forms and lasts 30 seconds. So, casting Cenarian Ward. Okay. 10,000. Well, that was kind of weak. But if you actually saw while my friend was hitting me, it actually renewed some health while he was hitting me. But, you know, it probably won't be enough to do much. Alright, Fairy Swarm, or Fairy Swarm, whatever you want to call it. It grants an improved version of Fairy Fire that also reduces the target's movement speed by 50% for 15 seconds. This talent replaces Fairy Fire. So, and it looks pretty cool too, in my opinion. It's nice, shiny pixies. Pretty sweet. And it lasts quite a while too. Nice looking effect. Okay, the second talent at level 45 is Mass Entanglement. It has a 30-yard range, instant cast, 2-minute cooldown. It roots your target in place for 20 seconds and spreads to additional nearby enemies. It affects 5 total targets. Damage caused may interrupt the effect. Usable in all shapeshift forms. Let's see what it looks like. That's pretty cool. Instant root, and it got 4 of them. And this guy just wrecked it. Okay. Okay, the next talent is Typhoon. Typhoon is an instant cast, 20-second cooldown. It summons a violent typhoon that strikes targets in front of the caster within 30 yards, knocking them back and dazing them for 6 seconds. Usable in all shapeshift forms. And this is Typhoon for you. Oh, they changed the appearance of it. Alright, for the first one in the level 60 talents, we have Soul of the Forest. Eyyitsconnas' Blessing grants a benefit which varies by your combat specialization. Now, balance. When a lunar eclipse ends, you gain 20 solar energy. And when a solar eclipse ends, you gain 20 lunar energy. That's for balance. For Feral, your finishing moves grant 2 energy per combo point. Guardian, Mangle now generates an additional 2 rage. And Restoration, you gain 50% haste for your next spell when you cast Swiftmend. Now, I only have 2 specializations, and this requires 4, so I'm just going to show you the balance one. Okay, now that I am in a lunar eclipse, I will hit Moonfire, Starfall, Starfire. Just spam the hell out of it so that it ends. Okay, now that it's over, you saw that it gave me 20% or 20 solar energy right there, and it works vice versa. Okay, the second talent in the level 60 bar is Incarnation, instant cast with a 3-minute cooldown. It activates a superior shapeshifting form appropriate to your specialization for 30 seconds. You may freely shapeshift in and out of this form for its duration. For balance, you have Chosen of a Loon. It's an improved Moonkin form that gains 25% increased arcane and nature damage while Eclipse is active. For Feral, it's King of the Jungle, improved cat form that allows the use of all abilities, which normally require stealth, and allows the use of Prowl while in combat. Guardian, Son of Ursoc, improved bear form that reduces the cooldown on melee damage abilities and growl to 1.5 seconds. Restoration, Tree of Life. Tree of Life form that increases healing done by 5% and increases armor by 120% and enhances Life Bloom, Wild Growth, Regrowth, Entangling Roots, and Wrath spellcasts. So here's an Incarnation on a Boomkin. It makes you freaking huge. Ah. Now you can also swipe with your claws while you're in this form. Okay, Incarnation, King of the Jungle. This is in cat form. Let's take a look at what this looks like. Oh, that's sick. And it lets you use other attacks while you're not even in Prowl. So Ravage, Pounce, etc. I don't really play a Druid, so I'll just hit these ones. And there we go. That's that one. Alright, sorry about that, but apparently there's a bug, or it's not been implemented yet, that when you try to respec, you can respec your talents, but you can't change your specialization yet. So I'm stuck as Balance and Feral. So, again, sorry about that. I'm pretty sure as Guardian, you just become a really big bear that looks a bit fiercer. And in Restoration, I'm pretty sure you just become the tree, just like in Kata. So, yeah. Now we have Force of Nature, the last one, at level 60. It has a 40-yard range, it's instant cast, and is a 3-minute cooldown. Summons 3 treants to assist in the Druid's current combat roll for 1 minute. Therefore, it will DPS or heal, I guess. Treant capabilities vary by specialization and is usable in all shapeshift forms. So, let's try that. Wonder what that would do in bear form. You know what, let's try it in bear form. Okay, I guess it just summons trees. And it seems to cast Wrath. This only looks like 1 treant to me, so must be glitched. There are a lot of glitches in the beta, if you haven't noticed. Either that or oh shit! There you go. They're just buddies. Alright, I guess there really are 3. Good to know. And last but not least, we have the final talent bar until level 90. Now a quick note here, you can't hit level 90 in the beta. They just haven't finished the game yet. So, first one is Disorienting Roar, instant cast, 30-second cooldown. Invokes the Spirit of Ursol to roar, disorienting all enemies within 10 yards for 3 seconds. Any damage caused will remove the effect, usable in all shapeshift forms. That's pretty cool. I can roar as a bird. Okay, let's try this out. On a PvP target, it'll probably only disorient them for 1.5 seconds if it's half the time. Yeah, that was pretty fast. Well, I guess that's pretty useless for PvP. Okay, next one. This is one of the coolest spells in the beta. It's called Ursol's Vortex. Okay, gotta tell my buddy to stop running there. Ursol's Vortex, 30-yard range, instant cast, 30-second cooldown. It conjures a vortex of wind at the destination location that reduces the movement speed of all enemies within 8 yards by 50%, sorry. The first time an enemy attempts to leave the vortex, winds will pull that enemy back to its center. This lasts 15 seconds and is usable in all shapeshift forms. That seems to be a recurring thing, usable in all shapeshift forms. So let's learn that. Alright, so it's got a placeable target, and I will put it on him. That looks pretty cool. And as you can see, it reduces his movement speed by 50%, and he's trying to run out, but will it let him? Nope. It sucks him back in and puts the movement slowing speed effect on him again. and that lasts 15 seconds. It hits all enemies. That's pretty sick for RPGs, battlegrounds, whatever you want to do. Now the last one we have here is called Mighty Bash. Melee range, instant 50-second cooldown. Invokes the Spirit of Ursoc to stun the target for 5 seconds. Usable in all shapeshift forms. It'll probably only stun them for 2.5 seconds in PvP. But, you know, we might get lucky here. Alright. Let's zoom in here, see if it does anything cool. Boom. Makes them all bloody. You become a bear. Oh, and it does stun them for 5 seconds. That's pretty cool. Alright, so those are the talents for you for Druid. Right here. So we will now move on to the Glyphs. And there are some pretty cool ones out there, if I might add. Alright, first one we have here is Glyph of Barkskin. Pretty self-explanatory. I'm not even going to show it. But it reduces the chance you'll be critically hit by 25% while Barkskin is active. Second one, Blooming. Not going to show this either, as I can't respec to healing. This increases the bloom heal of your life bloom when it expires by 20%. That can be nice. But your healing touch, nourish, and regrowth abilities no longer refresh the duration of life bloom. So it's a bit of a trade-off there. It's up to you which one you want to pick. But I actually probably wouldn't use that glyph. Now, Glyph of Cat Form increases healing done to you by 20% while in cat form. Show you that one. So, let's just go into regular form. Oops, healed him instead. Alright, as you can see, this just got a 13k crit, but it's doing an average of, say, 6.6k. Now, when I cast that on myself again, and go into cat form, 16k crit, and it's an average of around 8k, so 20%, pretty nice. Very good for arena. Second one is Glyph of Cyclone. Increases the range of your Cyclone spell by 4 yards, so without the glyph, you can cast it from here. And oops, guess I'm in combat. Now with the glyph, you can cast it from here. Not exactly amazing, 4 yards, but it could be that extra edge you need to win in arena. Now, Glyph of Dash reduces the cooldown of your dash ability by 60%. So, right here, it's a 3-minute cooldown, so it'll be a 2-minute cooldown instead. Not even going to show that one. Glyph of Entangling Roots reduces the cast time of your Entangling Roots by 0.2 seconds. Again, some of these seem kind of like really self-explanatory. So instead of a 1.57 cast, it's a 1.37 cast. Not even going to show it. Now we have Glyph of Fey Silence. Fairy Fire, used in bear form, also silences the target for 3 seconds, but triggers a 15-second cooldown. So, let's go into bear form right here. And it's got a 6-second cooldown right now. And let's put that in. Boom. Silence right there. Fairy Fire, but it... oh, still a 6-second cooldown. Don't really see what the big deal is about that. Maybe it's a 15-second silence cooldown. That's probably it. Now, Glyph of Fairy Fire. Let's take this out. Without it, you can cast from here. Wow, that's a pretty long cast range, 35 yards. Cast it from here. With it, it increases it by another 10 yards. I don't even know if I'm going to have space here. Let's check. Okay, good. You can cast it from there. So that's a 45-yard range, making it one of the longest range spells in the game. Now, Glyph of Ferocious Bite. Your Ferocious Bite ability heals you for 1% of your maximum health for each 10 energy used. Now, if you add that with Glyph of Cat Form, that might make a nice bonus, increasing healing done to you by 20% while in cat form. So let's go cat form here. So what does that say? And let's get full energy because it consumes energy. There we go, 7,600. And I guess that's it, is it? Yeah, I guess so. So I had 100 energy. 1% of my health is that like 1,200? Yeah, okay. So I guess it's not that amazing, but it's okay. Okay, now we have Glyph of Frenzied Regeneration. While Frenzied Regeneration is active, healing effects on you are 40% more powerful. Oops. But causes your Frenzied Regeneration to cost 60 additional rage initially and no longer convert rage into health. So I'm not even going to show that one. Self-explanatory in my opinion. Now, Glyph of Healing Touch. When you cast Healing Touch, cooldown on your Swift Mend is reduced by 1 second. Again, self-explanatory. Glyph of Hurricane. Your Hurricane ability now also slows the movement speed of its victims by 50%. That might be kind of good. Very good for PvP. Let me just find Hurricane here. Okay. Place it. There we go. Movement slow by 50%, and it's doing damage. Pretty nice. And I don't know if it's just me, but they made the clouds purple. Looks pretty cool. Infected Wounds. Your Shred, Ravage, Maul, and Mangle attacks cause an infected wound in the target. The infected wound reduces the movement speed of the target by 50%. Might as well show it. Sorry, how many spells were that? Okay. Mangle. Boom. Infected wounds. Movement speed slowed by 50%. That's a disease there. Alright. Innervate. When Innervate is cast on a friendly target other than the caster will gain 10% of maximum mana over 10 seconds. Now, there's no one with mana here, but, I mean, the spell has been around for quite a while. If it's new to you, whatever, this doesn't have to do with Miss Pandaria. Glyph of Life Bloom. I can't go tree form, but I'll explain it anyway. While not in Tree of Life form, casting Life Bloom on a new target grants that target as many applications as the old target had. So that's pretty nice. If you have a bunch of stacks on someone, you can switch it over to another person. Master. Glyph of the Master Shapeshifter reduces the mana cost of all shapeshifts by 90%. I'll put that in. So it really doesn't doesn't use any mana regardless, but now I don't think it uses any mana at all. Okay, Glyph of Maul. Your Maul ability now hits one additional target for 50% damage. Gotta get some rage going. Rah. Okay, so I guess you can now kill training dummies. I don't know if that's just in the beta. That's kind of funny. So Maul, there we go, hits 2 people, but 50% damage on the other one. Not bad. Okay, we now have Glyph of Might of Ursoc. This increases the health gain from Might of Ursoc by 20%, but increases the cooldown by 2 minutes. So the cooldown is 3 minutes. That'll make it a 5-minute cooldown. That kind of sucks. Oh, hang on. Yeah, okay, I haven't put the glyph in yet. There we go, 5-minute cooldown. That kind of sucks. But it increases your maximum health by 50% and increases health to 50% if it's below that value. There we go. 217k health. And I'm not even a tank. I'm a boomkin. And I'm not even tank spec. Pretty sweet, in my opinion. Okay, now we have Glyph of Prowl. This reduces the movement penalty of Prowl by 100%. So, if we cast Prowl without the Glyph, we're at 86% speed. So, by 30%. Let's get out of Prowl. Wait for this 10-second cooldown. Put in the Glyph. Dun -dun. And cast it again. Now it's at 109%. It doesn't seem very noticeable, but that's because you're not trying to chase someone. So, that's pretty good. Glyph of Rebirth. Players resurrected by Rebirth are returned to life with 100% health instead of the regular, I think it's either 20 or 50% health. So, that's okay. Good for PvE. Glyph of Regrowth. Increases the critical strike chance of your regrowth by 40%, but removes the periodic component of the spell. So in case you don't know, regrowth gives you a hot, so this will just be a regular heal. Glyph of Rejuvenation. When you have Rejuvenation active on 3 or more targets, the cast time of your Nourish spell is reduced by 30%, but I don't have the healing spec, so whatever. Glyph of Shred. While Berserk or Tiger's Fury is active, Shred and Ravage have no positional requirement. Self-explanatory, you usually have to be behind the target. Now you can be in front of them, beside them, above them, below them, whatever you want. Okay, we now have Glyph of Skull Bash. This increases the duration of your Skull Bash interrupt by 4 seconds, but increases the cooldown by 10 seconds. Again, self-explanatory. Glyph of Solar Beam. Increases the duration of your Solar Beam silence effect by 5 seconds. So let's go in Boomkin here. And let's find Solar Beam. There we go. Now the silence says interrupting the target and silencing all enemies under the beam while it's active. Lasts for 10 seconds. So I guess with the beam, it'll last for 15 seconds. Yeah, no timer there. Glyph of Stampede. You can now cast Stampeding Roar without being in bear form or cat form. Stampeding Roar increases the radius of Stampeding Roar by 30 yards. That's kind of cool. I'm going to show you that one. Actually, let's make this fun. Let's put the Stampede in. Let's put the Stampeding Roar in. There we go. Now I can cast it while in boom form, if this is correct. Alright, so, hang on. What's the cooldown on that? 2 minutes. I'm not going to show you the regular, but boom. Movement speed increased by 60%. So that's basically if you just want to chill and run around. Okay, now we have Glyph of Survival Instincts. Reduces the cooldown of Survival Instincts by 60%, but reduces its duration by 50%. The Moon Beast. This is a really cool glyph. You can now cast Healing Touch, Rejuvenation, and Tranquility without canceling Moonkin form. So let's get Tranquility here. There we go. Now usually you have to go into regular form. Okay, didn't put in the glyph. Scared me there. Alright, well that sucks. Now I have to cast something else. Let's cast Rejuvenation. That's great. You can basically just heal yourself now. Nice. Without wasting any mana. Even though we have that glyph that now makes you spend no mana while shapeshifting, sorry. Glyph of Wild Growth. Wild Growth can affect one additional target, but its cooldown is increased by 2 seconds. That's pretty cool. Now, onto the minor glyphs. Druids have the coolest minor glyphs out there, in my opinion, and I'll show you why. There is Glyph of Aquatic Form. Increases your swim speed by 50% while in aquatic form. So, oops, that's travel form. Alright, so there's with, 135%. There's without, way slower, 101%. Alright, now we have Glyph of Grace. Feline Grace reduces falling damage even while not in cat form. So let's actually take that out first. Let's go from, where can I measure? Let's go from right here. Whee! 61k. Now hopefully this won't kill me. That's gonna suck. Right here. There we go, 27k. That's over half, 50%, but I healed a bit, so it's probably around 50%. Pretty cool. Glyph of Mark of the Wild. Mana cost of your Mark of the Wild is reduced by 90%. That's just a regular spell. Glyph of Stars. Your Moonkin form ability is replaced with Astral Form, conferring all the same benefits, but now appearing as an astrally enhanced version of your normal humanoid form. So we have Moonkin form. I actually prefer being a fat bird. I think it's really funny. But let's put in Glyph of the Stars. There we go. You're basically yourself, but you're all stormy and see-through. Pretty cool. Up to you. I prefer the bird. Let's take that out. It's kind of bugging me. Go away. Okay. Now we have Glyph of the Chameleon. Each time you shapeshift into cat form or bear form, your shapeshifted form will have a random hair color. So, let's go bear. It's the purple. Let's go cat, purple, bear. Okay. Is this working? Doesn't seem to. They obviously must not have put in the graphics for this yet. Alright, now we have Glyph of the Orca. Your aquatic form now appears as an orca instead of a walrus, seal, whatever the hell that is. And if you put it in with Glyph of aquatic form, it's a pretty sweet combo. Whee! Now, what was that swim speed thing again? Wild Charge. There we go. Combine that with Wild Charge. There we go. Combine that with Wild Charge. You go 135% speed. Here's the orca in case you didn't really get to see it. Boom. Super speed orca. And jump out of the water and pounce on your enemies. Now, we have Glyph of the Predator. Your track humanoids ability now also tracks beasts. Okay, might be good if you're a Skinner. Treant form allows you to shapeshift into treant form. I don't know if will this work if I'm not. Oh, I guess it will. Okay, there we go. I'm a tree. That's cool. You don't have to be. I didn't play Druid like I said before, but I guess you don't have to be Resto to be a tree. But I think you get improved tree if you are Resto. Now, the last one is Glyph of the Stag. Your travel form now appears as a stag and can be used as a mount by party members. So, here's regular travel form. Let's get out of that. And here's travel form with the stag. Boom. And it's bugged. Wonderful. But if you don't want to pay for a 2-person mount, such as the chopper, etc., something that costs a lot of gold, and you're a druid, you can just be a deer / stag, whatever. Pretty cool. Nice little tail there. And you can have your friend on top of you. Alright, that is druid forms, spells, talents, glyphs, etc. for you in the Miss Pandaria beta. Thank you for watching, and subscribe for more.